to another episode of Check That Post Podcast. I'm your host, Jen, and these are my beautiful co hosts,
Queen and Christina.
And tonight's topic, we'll be talking about what's behind the hate that you give. Yes, indeed.
Yes.
This topic right here, I'm going to tell you.
Very much so necessary.
Yes. So we got to be the one to talk about it.
Absolutely.
First of all, I asked that question because help me understand. Like, we all on this planet, and we all have to live and thrive together.
Right.
Why are we hating on each other?
Right.
And there's all types of ways that you can show your hate. It ain't just one way to do it. There's all types of ways.
Yes.
So, is it that you misinformed? Is it that something, and I know it's something that you had to be taught as a child because you're not born a hater. That's something that
embedded in you.
It don't come natural to you. Right. So it's something here that you got to look back and say, why am I hating on this person?
Right.
Like, what's the real reason? So let's try to get into that conversation to find out, hopefully, what's the reason for the hate?
Right.
Because I'm confused. I really don't understand because it don't make no sense to me because we all got the same blood.
Yeah. But we all weren't raised the same.
And we all wasn't. That's right. We wasn't raised the same.
That's really where the line is drawn, or with dotted line or gray area or whatever you want to call it. That's when that comes into play because, I know who raised me. I know the type of person that I am. I know that the type of person that I'm raising my kids to be. But the person that lives next door to me, is doing a whole nother thing, in real life, my neighbor is a different race than I am. And, not saying that has anything to do with anything, but people in different races have different cultures, and they develop these things. They either I don't know if they were born in the U.S. or not, whatever it may have you. Their situation is not my situation. Right. So whatever is going on in their household, I'm not sure, but I know that they are friendly. I know that they speak to me when they see me, like a normal person that I would consider normal. Neighbor would do, we look out for each other. If I see something happen, that I don't like in the neighborhood or in his yard or something like that, I feel comfortable enough to intercede, because that's my neighbor, like I want him to be good, and that's close to home, that's close to my home. Yes. So if you messing with him, that's a little too close to me, and that make me feel too uncomfortable. So I feel the need to let him be aware. So with that being said, it don't matter what his race is. Right. I still care about this man. He's my neighbor. Yes. It ain't even just because he's my neighbor. It's just because he's another human being. Right. So I'm raising my kids like that. My mother, she raised me like that. We don't care about races and stature, and if it's a homeless man or if it's a billionaire, like it doesn't matter. We're going to treat these people the same. We're still going to treat these people with respect. If they treat us with respect, we're going to treat them with respect. Exactly. So it depends on, where you coming from, your upbringing, what you're being taught, and what you allow. Some people, they know it's not okay, but because it's what their family have always done, they just go along with it and just like, okay, all right, I don't want to break the tradition, or I don't want to make my dad upset, so I'm just gonna go along and treat people like he treat people, not because I feel like it's right, but because it's just what we do. It could be the name, it could be a family that's just so strong on their last name or their generation where they just like, if it ain't nobody in our generation, then we just gonna treat them like trash, So not generation, I'm saying the wrong word. If it ain't nobody, you know, in our family or in our lineage, or in our neighborhood, in our city, in our state, it could be anything, you know, a part of our organization, you know, whatever it may be. People can have hatred towards different groups, different people, and it just depends. I feel like there's no reason for hate. I feel like it stems from one thing, and that's not God, you know.
Not God like.
Right. So, I'm gonna stop.
Well, I mean,
Right now,
you
this
made
is
some good points
Yeah,
because when Jesus left, he gave that command that you love one another.
Mm-hmm.
So, from a natural standpoint, if you believe in God,
Mm-hmm.
then automatically you should say to yourself, well, question why I feel this way toward this person.
Right.
To me, personally, I don't have hate in my heart for no human being.
Mm-hmm.
I have empathy, and that's the key right there. A lot of people don't have empathy.
Right.
A lot of people, the way they was brought up to hate a person because of the color of their skin, that's something that we cannot change. Me, myself, I'm not trying to change. I love my color. I love who I am. I can grow in different areas of my life, but that ain't for you to decide, and for you to hate me for because you look at me and can't stand me because of the color of my skin.
Right.
That's a problem. The problem don't lie within me. The problem lies within you.
Right.
And you need to check yourself before you wreck yourself.
That's it.
Yeah.
But seriously though, like, why? We bleed the same red blood.
Right.
It runs through all our veins.
Mm-hmm.
So don't hate me because I'm black.
Right.
I don't hate you because you the color that you are.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna give you the same respect that you're giving me.
Right.
Like, come on now.
Yeah.
If you've been on this earth if you've grown, and I mean grown, we ain't talking about the kids because they're gonna do whatever their parents do or whatever their parents taught them.
Right.
Just like we doing what our parents, we believing in what our parents taught us until we become an age that we get to have form our own opinions.
Right.
Then my parents didn't teach me hate. So of course I'm not gonna grow up and say I hate you because you this color or you feel this way or the choices that you make in your life. The choices you made is your choices.
Right.
You live with those choices. That's your conscience. That ain't mine.
Right. Yep.
So hey, let's stop with all the hate.
Yes.
When we try to understand what's behind it, like why? Don't make sense to me.
And the thing is, it just takes so much more energy
It
to put
does.
towards
Yes.
hate versus the love. Like the love, it feels good. It don't feel good to hate somebody.
Right.
Like I don't.
It's draining.
Yeah. Like nobody want to have no negative energy or negative feeling every time they see a certain person or you know go around a certain group of people. Like nobody wants to feel like that. They want to feel good. Like feel love. You want to give that love. Like. You want to make people feel happy, make people feel good. You don't want to put people down. Like it just don't make sense to me. Like,
And if it's something that's unknown of that person, that you to be taught to fear, I'm gonna say it, to be taught to fear black people or African American or whatever your race or
the opposite race. Or
Hispanics, mixed or whatever. To be taught to fear those people that don't look like you. You need to question that because just to automatically fear them or do your own research. Like look into why should I have fear toward these people. They ain't done nothing to me, so why should I fear them?
You don't find that suspicious?
Indeed I do. Because first of all, they can't help how they came here. They're a byproduct of their parents.
Right.
And their parents and their parents and on and on. Just like you're a byproduct of your parents. You didn't ask to be here, first of all. Second of all, you couldn't choose which one that you come in.
Right.
So if you couldn't choose how you got here,
Right.
come on now. Stop with the hating.
Right.
And ain't nobody talking about you gotta be kumbaya and everybody gotta love each other, but that's what God said, love each other. That's the way it should be. We all want peace and happiness, but we know it's not gonna be like that.
Right.
But we ain't worried about you saving the world or trying to have peace and happiness of the world. Do your part.
Right.
That's all we talking about.
The people you encounter.
Right. Question yourself why you got hate in your heart towards somebody because they don't look like you.
Right.
Make it make sense.
Because they don't have what you have. Or
Right.
because they don't talk like you talk or walk like you walk.
Get that person a helping hand. If that you say that person is
Right.
not on your level, so to speak, because you
Right.
know we always think we this high above this one.
Mm-hmm.
Your job is to
Right.
get them a helping hand to help lift them up.
Right.
If you're gonna do anything, if you're gonna have something to say about it,
Yeah.
you don't stomp down on that
Right.
person.
Or leave them alone.
Yeah, or that,
Mhm.
yes.
Yeah.
But come on, y'all, we got to do better as a people. We
Yeah.
all in this together.
Right. Absolutely.
And if this weekend didn't teach you that,
Right.
I don't know, you living on a rock or something.
Mhm.
We all in it. This a fight we all gotta fight.
Right. Absolutely.
It ain't just a fight for these people, or
Right.
us people.
Right.
That's you in this too.
Right.
You gotta live here too until you don't.
Mhm.
So you need to do your part just like we gotta do ours.
Right.
And you don't have to get along with me. You don't have to like me. You don't have to respect me. None of that. Okay? You ain't come on now. Let's be real. Just do your part.
Right.
Cause I'm doing mine. Okay?
Absolutely.
Where's the love? That's what I wanna know.
Right.
Yes. And we want to do like the Bible tells us to treat people the way we want to be treated.
Right.
You know, and it is so much that's negative, as was stated, that is out there. You know.
Yes.
And one of the things that we can do is be leaders in teaching people, you know, how to show love. You know, that's one of the most important things. Because when we start looking at children when they come here, you know, you have to be taught, you know, to hate.
Right.
And a lot of times people, when they're not confident about themselves, and they see somebody there is, immediately they want to put on a facade of you know, I don't like them, you know, I hate them because of, and the person
Right.
haven't done anything to them.
Right.
Or better yet, your girlfriends don't like them, you know, and so you get on the bandwagon with your girlfriend, you know, and then a lot of times you don't stop and ask your girlfriend, well, what did that person do to you?
Right.
Right.
You know, or what did you just do to that person? Because nowadays you just can't get on the bandwagon with people just because when they have something negative to say. Find out before you just jump on board with people. Find out what the situation is, and then you still have to apply it to yourself and say, hey, if they didn't do it to me, why do I need to be angry or show forth hatefulness towards somebody?
Right.
You know?
Right.
We all should live in a world where we can just get along, because it's just nice to be nice.
Yes.
And we can show,
Don't cost you nothing.
it don't cost you
No,
nothing,
and it
you
feels
know.
good.
It does, you know, smiling across the room at somebody,
Yeah.
saying hi, wave of a hand or a nod, you know.
Right.
It doesn't hurt to do that.
Right.
Or if you see somebody that needs help walking across the street, you know, picking up something, handing it to somebody.
Right.
It's okay to do that, you know, because you don't never know if your grandchildren, your mother, your sister, your relative is gonna need help, and somebody is willing to take their time out and say, let me help this person right here, you know. And because you sowing bad seeds, and your children see you sowing bad seeds and people's around you, and then they start walking in your footsteps, you know. Don't let people start following your footsteps, sowing bad seeds.
Right.
Show them how to sow those good seeds that's gonna come up, because you might not be here to see it, but if you sowed those seeds, they're gonna come up somewhere in your family.
Absolutely.
You know, and sometimes things, you know, start out being a tragedy, you know, because of something you done sold down the line.
Yes.
You know, that you didn't think, oh, I ain't hurt nobody. But you ought to care enough, or we as a people ought to care enough for our family that we don't want no hurt, harm, or danger to come to them. You know, and a lot of this stuff that does happen, we don't have no control over. I can only control me.
Right.
I can't control what other people do.
Right.
That's right.
And being a human, I would like to control what other people do.
It would be nice. It would
Make
be
a man
nice.
right.
But unfortunately for me, I can just only control, you know, myself. You know, and that's a job within itself.
Right.
You know, they're just trying to keep me under control. Now, when I was raising my children, you know, I raised them to the best of my ability. You know, and I raised them right. You know, and I still am an influence in their life.
Right.
You know, and I'm grateful for that. You know that I don't get reports that my children are mean mugging somebody or being hateful towards somebody.
Right.
I don't get those. I don't get that from my grandkids. You know, and so that says a lot for me, that I know that I did some right things. I know that the people that was helping me sowed some good seeds, you know, toward my children's life, and it allowed them to be able to see that there are areas that you walk in your life, it needs to be on good ground. You know, but once again, we can't control nobody but ourselves, and there are some people that are out there that thinks that they can control you and your environment as well as control theirs. And sometimes you just have to, you know, pray for those people.
Right.
You know, that they'll see the right way, that no hurt or harm or danger will come to the situation, because we see enough violence as it is. When we step out our doors, you know, there's cars riding up and down the street as it is, and people are sometimes lose their lives in wrecks or plane crashes or whatever moving object that is. So that's a lot within itself, let alone if I'm walking out my door, but my neighbor is doing something crazy that causes me to lose my life, you know, or whoever I have over to lose their life because they hate me so much that that they don't even want me to park this much close to their, you know, on their property. You know, they want to fight me for that, you know, and you know, but they don't care about the dogs that they let run over in the yard and do whatever they want to do. But you're stressing about a little piece that I done parked over, but you know I don't normally do it. Or no, better yet, my company that comes over that don't know that you like that about your land. And so now you making a big scene, and then you people this and you people that, you know. So I like to have peace around my home, and like you, Christina, I have a Caucasian that live right next door to me, and I'm grateful for her because she's real down to earth. She's very friendly, and she always tells me, I just love my neighbors. I just love my neighbors. I love the way how they treat me, you know. And she talks like, and she means it because she tells me that more than once. She's not afraid of me. She likes coming out and having conversation. And the same here, you know. She watches out for me. If somebody comes to the house, she gonna let me know. If I'm not there, that whatever car drove up, even if it's my grandkids, one of my grandkids came by and he just knocking on the door, and followed her calls. I guess he figured I could possibly still be in the house, and he was just shaking the knob, and she was like, "Well, can I help you?" And he said, "Well, this is my Nana's house, and have you seen her? Do you know where she at?" But anyway, she made sure that she let me know that my grandchild had been there, and so I'm grateful to have her, living next door to me because she's a very nice person and she wants to be neighborly.
Right.
And I don't have to worry about leaving somewhere and knowing that I got to worry about whether or not she's gonna be inappropriate, right? If I'm not there, the grandkids are there, whatever. She's just a nice lady. So it's good to have good neighborly people, but we know everybody is not like that, right? And so, but we still want to govern ourselves accordingly as being good people. One thing that we don't have to do, and that is allow somebody else to change you.
That's
are.
right.
Right.
That's right.
If you up on them good vibes, you're doing the best that you can, and you know that your actions is not hurting anybody.
Right.
Don't allow anybody to anger you, to make you turn from being a nice person to a real nasty person, even with them.
Right.
Because even in that situation with them trying to turn you or show you their side of them, you still can win them with love.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you know what? Fear of the unknown.
Yes.
That's all it's about. If you don't know something about a person, ask that person.
Them. Yes.
Remove the fear.
Right.
It's so easy to do.
Yes.
You ain't got to just hate that person because you don't know such about that person.
Right.
You just assuming that they this way or that way.
Right.
It could be the farthest thing from that.
Yes.
I know a lot of people used to think in my growing up, because I don't talk to a lot of people, don't deal with a lot of people. I'm in my own lane, minding my own business. Because I didn't deal with it, I wasn't in a so-called clique. Oh, she's so stuck up. Look at her, she thinks she's better than us. I guess I must have been you over here talking about it. But to me, that was just so ridiculous. Like, because I ain't having conversations with you, then I'm stuck up. All they had to do was approach me and say something because you want to know. I ain't approaching you because I don't want to know what you got going on. I ain't asking you no questions, so I'm over here doing me.
Right.
So because they wasn't over here, they didn't know, I guess what they was trying to do was trying to figure out how to get to me. I seen them, they over there and they look click talking or whatever. I don't go on about my business because what you got going on over there ain't bothering me. Unless you come talk to me directly, if you hadn't done that, you would have found out who I was.
Right.
Or what type of person I was. And you'd have known I ain't stuck up at all.
Right.
I don't think I'm better than nobody. I'm who I am. And you probably would have got to know me and got to like me. Had you took the time instead of assuming that when they hate again, maybe it was something about me that you was hating on that was unnecessary for you to be hating on.
Or
Like
insecurity.
Yeah, the insecurity. I was secure within myself because I'm doing my own thing.
Right.
So, what's your problem? That's the way I
When
look
they
at it.
are insecure, that's what triggers them. Like, she's secure, but I ain't insecure. They ain't thinking that, per se in their head, but that's what it is. They're not secure within themselves, and then they see somebody that is secure, so it's like an intimidation type of thing.
Right.
So instead of being like, how can I be more like that? I want to be secure too. Like, let me see how she got so secure. Or the person that is secure. Let me help this person. I see this person got low self-esteem. This person is very insecure. Let me help this person not be insecure anymore.
Right.
It could go both ways.
Yes.
So, just a couple of things that I got here, and y'all actually kind of touched on it already, but with the insecurity and the low self-esteem, when people feel inadequate, they just have negative thoughts, basically, because either you weren't a part of it, or you didn't initiate it, or you didn't come up with idea or whatever may have you. It just because it was different from what you wanted it to be. Then you just automatically just grab this hatred and just be like, oh, I can't stand her now because she had this idea and I had, and everybody liked her idea, but they ain't like mine.
She getting the attention.
Right.
And I'm not.
Right. Power and control. You can hate. Hate can be a tool that's used with power. People use their power to maintain control. You're dividing people, whether it be races, religion, social lines, certain people with certain groups, with stereotypes and prejudice, just having conceived notations and stereotypes about different groups. When individuals make generalizations based on race, ethnicity, and identities, it can lead to negative attitudes and harmful behaviors towards others. So, you might not know me, but just because, we're different, I'm trying not to use race as an example, but just because I'm in my 20s and you're in your 30s. So you don't like people in their 20s because you feel like, the person that you worked with before me was moving way too fast, and you felt like they were doing too much. So you felt like they were trying to outshine you or whatever, and they probably were just trying to get production. They probably trying to make the number. They trying to get that bonus. They might be working towards something. So instead of you just having that conversation with them, saying like, hey, like, what's going on here? Like, I can't keep up with you. Like, can you help me? Can you show me how to keep up with you? Whatever. You just like, I can't stand working with young people because they just act like they just can run circles all around you and they don't care nothing about how you feel about the workplace. Instead of, just coming to that person saying like, hey man, like, how can we do this thing together better? How can we work together better? We're gonna do this every day. We come in here every day, work together. Let's figure out how we can become better together.
Better together.
Yeah, and that's a good point right there about the older woman hating on the younger woman, because instead of you just hating on her because she's getting around better, step your game up.
Right.
You get a little faster.
Right.
Like, come on.
Right.
What we doing here?
Right. Yeah.
Like,
Like, teach you a little wisdom.
yeah. Give her some of your wisdom, and she might be able to say, well, thank you, and this is how I do it, and this is why I do it.
Right. Exactly.
Y'all get to working together, and before you know it, the job is done.
Absolutely.
And who knows? The young girl might be skipping some steps, some important steps.
Right.
And that might be an opportunity for you to be like, look, hey baby girl, I know you moving fast and stuff, but I don't know who trained you, but there's a step right here that we missing. If we follow this step right here, it might take just a little bit longer, but we can implement a way to where we can still get this product in faster, or get this out faster. Just communicate. Just have that little one-on-one. If it's a group of people, have that little group discussion, that weekly discussion, come together and just communicate. It ain't no need for all that negativity and all that and hatred and just snaring up and just feeling uneasy when you see people. Like, I done been like that before. Like, we ain't perfect, we human. So, we done been through stuff like that before. So it done been, where I done came to work and been like, why is you in my face? Please get out my face. Like, I don't say that, but you probably can see it on my face.
Your body language.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
God, here he come again.
Right. And I ain't finna be like, oh, you're so dumb. Get out of my face. Like, why are you asking me this stupid question? Please move. Get out of my face. Like, no, I'm not finna do that. I'm still gonna be the same gentle person. I'll be like, hey, what can I do for you? All right. Okay. I got you. Well, let me show you something real quick. All right. Yeah. Okay. Well, what's stopping you from being able to do that? Okay. Well, let me show you the way that I did it, and maybe that might help you.
Right.
Or go and talk to such and such, and see what helped them. Just go around asking people, just see what
communication.
Exactly.
You know, it goes a long way.
Right.
Mhm.
And we gotta stop wearing these masks.
Yes.
Just take the mask off.
Take the mask
Be
off.
who you
Be who
are.
you are.
If you don't like somebody,
Mhm.
put your poker face on. Handle your business. Take care of business. But this blatant hate just for the sake of hate.
Right.
We in 2024.
Mhm.
We all here. Can we all just get along? I know that most of y'all that's a big fact no.
Mhm.
But you better listen to what Jesus told you. He said love one another. We already know that we're not gonna do that.
Right.
But at least do your part.
Mhm.
And if everybody do just a little bit,
Mhm.
just a little bit,
Yeah.
that's all it takes. Everybody doing a little bit, we can make it happen.
Right, absolutely. Because especially if you're on somebody's job, the main goal is to get the job done.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it means if you don't want to talk to your coworker, if you don't have to ask them something job related, then you ain't got to worry about talking to them. You know, just learn how to keep the peace. Because I have been the type of person that I could work right alongside you and not say a word.
Exactly.
You know, and because at the end of the day, I need to go home with the peace. You know, I didn't need to go home dreading coming back to work, and then I got to deal with somebody that's showing me hateful attitudes. You know, because I got to make a living, and so I want to be able to be comfortable. And furthermore, if you didn't hire me for that job, then why am I putting up with a lot of crap with it? You didn't hire me, and if you did hire me for the job, then I need to make a decision. You know, it might be time for me to vacate that job because I'm not liking the vibe that's being kicked off. Because at the end of the day, as a supervisor, a person that owns the business, you should be more into my productivity versus whether or not you like me, because I'm not there to like you. I'm there to do a job because I'm looking for a paycheck. You know, and the people that are around me, I'm a all around person. Just a people's person. And so I love talking to people, doing things with them. But sometimes I may come to work and I've had times where I didn't feel like being chattery or being that good person, people's person. But I didn't treat the people wrong. I just kind of mellowed out a little bit for that day. The next day, I be wired up next day. And so some of the days I did have a downtime, but it's not a life or death situation, and we all should be able to get along.
Exactly. Agreed. And I'm gonna say something for the people that stand on these jobs and somebody's treating you a way that you know within yourself not right. Leave. Make your plan and leave. You don't have to put up with that. You don't have to take that. Just like in a relationship, if somebody not treating you how you deserve to be treated, make a decision. Either you're gonna stay there and put up with it and hope it get better and year 10 pass and it's still the same situation, or worse. We're not doing that. You got to think about you. And if you got kids, think about your children. Is it worth it? Don't put up with it.
If the motivation ain't enough for yourself, let your kids be that motivation.
Yes. And even we have games out there, that people are involved in, and people that are in games, if they don't like you, they just don't like you, and they will try to wreak havoc on your life. And that's sad. That's very sad. Very sad. They're like, now you gonna do what I say do, or we gonna do such and such, to you. it's just sad. I ought to be able to walk down the street with whatever color I want to wear. You know, it shouldn't be that I got when I walk out my door. Oh, what color do I got on?
Right.
I'm all nervous and stuff. You know, it shouldn't be that. But there's a whole lot that's hidden from us. You know, and we just hear it here and there. But that stuff, as soon as we open up our front doors, a lot of us is introduced. We got a front row seat.
Yep.
And you can only hide it so much.
Right.
You know, you can go on about your daily life with that mask on, you know. But when you getting back home, you taking it off, or you know, when you with a certain group of people, you know, you put it on, and with another certain group of people, you might take it back off, but you gonna slip somewhere. You know,
Yeah.
you won't forget to take it off, or you won't forget to put it back on, and that's when you gonna really show your true colors,
Right.
and you know, things will go as they may from there. You know?
Absolutely. But don't be that person that needs some attention in the ER.
That part.
Right.
And I say that not because you're gonna be doing something to them, but you're gonna be the nice person, because you're gonna want them doctors and them nurses.
That's right.
You're gonna want them to see after you.
Right.
And at that point of time in your life, you ain't caring about all that hatred stuff and trying to treat people hateful, because you need some help.
Right.
That's right.
So if you need help during that time that you having to be in the emergency room, where kind of figure it out every day I wake up, you know, I'm gonna need somebody's help. And then fix yourself so you can be that person that says,
Right.
I'm gonna help somebody today.
Yes.
And that's the thing about it with life, like, you know, you can go off and live off by yourself and don't contact your family or have any friends or whatever, but there's gonna come a time in your life where you're gonna need somebody. You know, you might, you know, be stuck in a house or fall in a house and you can't get to the phone, you know, or you might get to the phone, but you're gonna have to dial 911 and somebody gonna have to come and get you up off the floor. Like, there's not one person on this earth that does not need anybody. We come into the earth needing our parents. We can't do nothing when we come out here on earth. Like, a baby will sit there and chew their fingers off to their death, you know, or just keep gnawing if ain't nobody feeding it. Like, we need somebody, you know. So it ain't like we out here like, oh, I don't need nobody. Like, I can do this all by myself. No. Ain't nobody ever did nothing all by themselves. Ain't nobody ever not needed nobody. Nobody.
Yeah. Because I need my sister.
Right.
And I need my niece. And I need my daughter.
I definitely need my mama. And
My
I definitely
nephew.
need my auntie. And my chap. Oh my goodness, my chaps. I definitely need
I
them.
need them people as a part of my life. You
Right.
know, like, you know, I need them. I love them.
Right.
I don't want to do without them, but I know there's a period of time, you know, if I keep on living, you know, and they keep on living, they might miss me sometime,
Right.
you know, and I'm going to be the same with them. But until that time, you know, come, I'm still going to love them.
Right.
Yes.
Without them, it wouldn't be no me. Without me, it wouldn't be no them.
Yes.
So don't expose your hand too soon for all y'all out there hating.
Right.
We playing chess, not checkers.
Absolutely. I love y'all.
No, it ain't never love on this podcast. And if it's too sweet for you, then go on over there to that other side, to that
Right.
bitter side. 'Cause that ain't what we about.
Right.
Well, we got a couple of dear gens, and I guess we better get to them. And I'm finna spread it around, because this topic right here. Let me take that one. Let me take that one.
It says, Dear Jen, I think if we all just follow the golden rule and honesty and others participant from the Bible, the world would be a better place. At the end of the day, we all bleed the same, and everyone should be focused on their own affairs unless you are planning to be a positive influence on someone else's life. Having hatred in your heart hurts you in more ways than you think. It causes literally stress to your body, and most of the time, it's probably about things that are beyond your control. I hope the letter will be a reminder for people to honestly check their pulse and choose to live in peace. Everyone has one life to live, and we all should make the most of it. It's time to lift each other up. Amen to that.
Yes.
Amen.
We ain't never needed each other more than now.
Absolutely.
I totally agree.
Right, especially with the peace part, because when you out here just doing evil and just stealing and killing and robbing, whatever, just giving that hatred or treating people all nasty and stuff like that, it don't sit well. Do people that do stuff like that, they don't sleep well at night.
Right.
They're not happy. They don't have happy lives. They don't have people that surround them that are just like, so just ecstatic to be around them. Like people like that, you can tell. Like you can see they have a certain type of aura around them as well. So
Yes.
you can only hide it to a certain extent.
Right.
That's why I'm talking about exposing your hand, because you really don't have to say nothing. People can feel your energy.
Right.
They can look at your face, your body language. You ain't got to say nothing.
Right.
Maybe like, I'm gonna stay away from you. Just don't feel right being around that person. Or they catch you, they be minding their business and happen to look up and see you looking at them making a face. What's that? Hate them just because you don't even know that person.
Right.
But you got evil in your heart toward that person. Come on, we got to do better, y'all.
Right.
We really got to do better, especially now.
Yes. Change it up.
Right.
Okay.
All right. Next, dear Jen. Dear Jen, how can someone say they love you, but low-key pray for your downfall? I mean, they consistently wishing you harm or hope you fail when you try to rise above situations. I believe a lot of black men hate black women because although black women get emotional, at their core, they are strong, they can rise above any situation. When we don't feel protected, we go into survival mode, meaning we have to protect ourselves, and when we protect ourselves, we get called angry black women. They don't take responsibility for putting us in this situation. When you expose the hate, it's a fight.
Wow.
That's what I agree. With especially, of course, women get emotional. Men get emotional too, but women wear their emotions, what they say, on their sleeve. Yeah. So, it's very easy to, even when we might not even say it, but the look on our face or the expression that we might make, you can just tell, like, okay, I just hurt her feelings, or I just said something inappropriate or that I shouldn't have said. But I just hate that. I feel like we just coming together, period. Like women coming together with women, men and women coming together, whether it's the same race, different race, just everybody together as a whole. It's just better together. We're better together.
Yes.
I just can't stress that enough. Like, and a lot of times it's just been like this all this time, or that's just the way it is. People have that type of mindset instead of being like, well, I'm gonna be a step towards the change. I'm gonna treat people like this, or I'm gonna treat people the way that I want to be treated. I'm gonna be kind to everybody. I'm gonna be the one to step up and start to make this change. And then I'm gonna implement that in the people around me as well. You know, I'm gonna put that into my kids. I'm gonna pour that into my family. You know, so when people start doing that more often, then we will be better together. Like it's just divided. It's just we could never do and be
fall.
Right.
Every time.
Exactly. Like just thinking about, you know, when you see like the ants, let's just take ants for instance, you know, and they're like trying to build up their home, you know, and they all taking they going all in formation, everybody taking their little piece of dirt one by one, you know, in line, they going back and forth, building this home for themselves, you know. And then everybody, when it's time to get food, they got certain ones going out getting food, bringing food back to the village. Like, I ain't never seen no ants at war.
That's
I ain't never seen no ants fighting.
They always work together.
They working together.
They got that same come and go. Everybody trying to build an ant hole.
Right.
They bringing food back to home.
Yes.
Back to the queen ant.
Yes, they trying to take care of their community, trying to take care of their people, trying to take care of their family.
Yes. And you touched on something in that letter about the black men. And I was trying not to go there about the black men hating on the black woman. And you're a black man. You do what you want to do. Be with who you want to be with. Your choices is your choice. But for a black man to hate on a black woman, something that he came from.
Right.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Where do that come from? That is mind-boggling.
It is.
Like you came from a black woman, but you hate. Like I think what it is, a lot of it got to do with. But you know, I was gonna say a lot of it got to do with TD. But you know, as a grown person, we can't even go there with that because you got your own mind. So you're responsible for the things that you do. But if you look at a lot of these shows, they geared toward, you know, the black woman being so-called the gold digger. There's many race of women with being as a gold digger.
Right.
So you want to hate because she's trying to look out for herself. I don't agree or disagree with that. I don't care nothing about that because I get my own.
Right.
So, but as a race of people that's already got so much stacked against them, what is the problem? Why is you hating on a black woman?
You mad? You can't control her.
Or jealous.
Yeah.
But that don't make sense to me. Why y'all not standing together and building together? You already got the deck stacked against you.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I would think, okay, we can build and grow together.
You lift me up, I lift you up.
Exactly.
Right.
But to be built, tearing each other down because you, maybe what it is, and this is a lot of what I see, I think the roles, and I don't know what it's come from. I know it's a so-called agenda from the world. I say the world just for the sake of saying the world. But the roles have been reversed. And to me, if the man make the woman feel safe, provide not just for her but for himself, you know, it's a team thing, then she won't have to take on that muscular role and she have to be the so-called the voice of authority.
Right.
She gonna play her role.
Right.
If you give the woman whatever you give her, she gonna blossom and give it back to you tenfold.
Right.
But if you so stuck in your hate or jealousy or whatever it is, I mean, to me it don't make sense. So I can't even put a name to it.
But you know what I'm thinking about, and it could possibly just be one of the reasons. Just thinking about how, you know, people are raised, you know, by women, you know, we're speaking on black men, black women right now.
Right.
So, you know, a black woman, of course, raised that black man, and maybe he didn't like, you know, the way that the role that his mom played, you know, his household. You know, maybe his mom was, you know, the one that just take the back seat and like, okay, I'm just gonna do whatever my husband say do, you know, or maybe, you know, she was firm and, you know, maybe her husband did, you know, lift her up and she lifted him up, or maybe he put her down, you know, like he probably, you know, just going off of what he was taught or how he was raised as well.
Well, when a man become grown and start his own family, that's your chance right there
Yep.
to fix that situation.
It is.
You don't have to let your child see you talking down to your woman.
Right.
I get the different household, different upbringings, because my mama, she raised us. And I think I was 7 when our mom separated or whatever. So she raised us, so she was the backbone. You know, that's a lot of where we get our strength from, watching her handle the household.
Right.
But that still didn't turn us against our dad.
Right.
He still was our dad. He still was the voice of authority. So, to me, he didn't teach us hate toward our mom.
Right.
So that's why I'm having a hard time comprehending today in 2024 this attitude of the black women ain't crap, or they got too much mouth, or they this or they that. You need to look at what got her to this point. Why is she this way? And if you don't have the patience of the want to dig deep to find out, you know, what got you to this point. Every woman is not the same. Every man is not the same. So, okay, let's get that straight off the bat. But if a relationship is work, married or unmarried, it doesn't matter. When you commit to somebody or be in a relationship with somebody, that's work on both y'all part. Both y'all come together. You got to leave your baggage, she got to leave hers, and then y'all got to grow together.
Right.
And if you're not willing to do that, and you choose somebody outside your race, like I said, that's your choice. But don't get with that person and then talk down about the black woman.
Right.
Because you don't know what that woman has been through. You don't know what got her to the mindset or the frame that she's in, her hurt and her bitterness and her pain.
Right.
Until you look deep and try to figure it out. If it's too much work for you, maybe she ain't for you. You go on to the next and do, ain't nobody forcing you to take that time out. But if you want to get to know the woman, don't be so quick to throw her away.
Right.
You don't know what she's been through.
Right.
You know,
Throw the whole race away.
yeah.
Right.
Black women ain't no good this and black. Come on, y'all.
Yeah.
When you came from one, and for you to say that, I think that problem is your problem.
And most of those that do say that are the fatherless. You know, that road. Men are needed. You know, we love our black men.
Yes.
And you know, we love all the positive that they stand for, but women shouldn't have to dummy down, you know, to our black kings, just so he can talk to us crazy, talk to us like, you know, he don't have any sense, like we dumb and stupid, because we further from being dumb and stupid. You know, there's a lot of black women that they're very educated, and they know how to run their household as make the money in the corporate world. You know, but if that's your problem, because you know she is known in the corporate world, you ought to be ashamed of yourself to let that get in the way of your family's life. You know, you should be building her up, because she would do the same for you. And the only thing she wants you to be is honest, be true, to love her, be that father if you have children. You know, be that voice of authority that wants to build and grow old with her one day. Not treat her like, you know, she's nothing. Women play a great role. first, I believe this, you know, that just because you meet with somebody, you know, it ought to be a while before you start wanting to have some kids. So at least if you don't want her no more, you ain't got no kids. You know that because now you got to look at y'all separating, and you just didn't separate. You separating, you know, the kids, and now you either
Right.
co-parenting, you know, outside of the home or however you do it. But I'm just saying, you know, we don't have to treat each other wrong and call each other names. Let's just be great together. If we can't be great together, go back to being how you were when you was friends, getting together. You know, just be nice to each other. Or you was lovey-dovey then. Go find out what really happened. And just because the interest changed and you wanted more from the corporate world or whatever, float your boat then. You know, you just change it up a little bit if you really love each other. But let's do it better. Let's teach our young better, because there's so many fatherless children out here.
Right.
You know, and then the men, they talk about, you know, the women, but you don't want to talk about you left that woman with a whole lot of children.
Right.
You know, you wasn't there to pick up that slack. You know,
And you got daughters. Your
Yeah.
daughter is looking at
that's
that.
right. Your
And then here
daughter
you
see
go, and she grow up, and she have a family in the same old.
that same cycle, because you wasn't there to teach her, baby, don't get with this man or talking to this dude. No, you're not gonna treat my daughter this way.
Right.
You either gonna treat her like this or that, or you ain't gonna have her at all. You know,
Right.
your daughters, they look for you to be that voice in their life. You know, and if you're not gonna be the voice in their life that should be in their life, then you need to change that thing up. You know.
Exactly. I guess we better get to this next just I knew this topic was gonna be.
Yeah, I got a short one here. It says, Dear Jen, this is Color Bearer. That's a good subject, but I'm not good on the subject because I've never fully understood why the white race think they are better when we all bleed the same blood. And we talked on this one.
Yeah.
We did talk on this, and then I would just want to, you know, when we dealing with hate, we dealing, you know, with resentment and unforgiveness, and sometimes it's violence, and we deal with our temper, anger, and retaliation, and sometimes it ends in murder.
Yes. This next one is Dear Jen. I grew up in a family that cared about each other. We was never taught to hate one another or be hateful. And as we began to have our own children, we taught them how to love, not hate. I believe whatever you teach your child will do what they have been instructed to do. Unfortunately, for a lot of us, we live in a kind of world that spew out hatred. I have grandchildren now. I teach them to treat people with love and treat them how they want to be treated. How can we help people to understand? It's more positive to show love and to help each other. Each one teach one. What is it that we can do to show each other how to work together in love? I love that.
Yeah. We just gotta do our part.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do your part. Is spread it as much as you can.
Yes,
And
yes.
the more you spread it, the more those people are gonna spread it, and the more it's gonna spread. So
Yes.
just do your part. You know, we can only do what we can do. We can only touch the people that are immediate to us. You know, that are affected by us, that we see. You know, we can reach people. You know, on social media, and you know, if you have a big enough platform, you know, you can reach people in different countries and whatnot. But just do your part, whatever it may be. You know, whatever you can do, just continue to do your part. And it sounds like you're doing an awesome job.
Right.
You know, so just keep up the great work.
And when you're teaching your children, they'll teach their children.
Right.
And then that breaks that curse,
Yes.
that generational curse of hate. And I got one more. Hey, Jen and ladies, just wanted to chime in a moment on this subject. My first experience with people of non-color acting funny towards me, quote unquote, and my mama was when we was at McAllister Square and it was thriving, and my mama and I were headed to eat at Morrison's Cafeteria. A lady of non-color pulled into the lot ahead of us, and she got out and started walking towards the restaurant. But she kept looking back at us, and so we just looked at her. She came all the way back, clutching her purse for dear life, and made a point of checking and locking all her doors. My mother told me to stand still, so the lady was passing us again. My mama clutched her purse and went back and locked our car doors as well. The lady had stopped, and the lady looked appalled and hurried on in. I said, Mama, why she do all that? My mama stopped and said she thinks we're gonna steal from her. I said, why does she think that? My mama said, baby, they stole everything from us, so I guess they think we're gonna steal it back. Jen, I am 58 years old, and I believe I experienced more hate in these few years than I have most of my life. Now, some of our black men are spewing hate against the very people that brought them into this world. I pray a change will come, and soon. Yes, and so do I.
Very much so needed.
Definitely a needed change.
Well, we hope y'all enjoyed this topic tonight.
Thank y'all for the dear gens. Y'all
Yes.
flooded us tonight.
Yes, you did.
Definitely appreciate it.
Yes. This is definitely a good topic.
Yeah.
And maybe one we may touch on again in the future.
Mm-hmm.
You can, yes. You can follow us on all social at Check That Pulse Podcast. And like and subscribe and turn on your notifications so that you know every time we go live or upload a new episode. You can write a Dear Jen to checkthatpulsepod@gmail.com or text 866-311-2251. Quit hating.
That's right. Don't hate. Don't hate.
Check
Don't
your
hate.
pulse. Calm down. It's gonna be all right.
Don't hate.
Yeah, make sure you still alive.